Whether new shooter, longtime gun owner, or even police officer or soldier, your handgun needs a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Crimson Trace.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, we're talking silencers, plus a new magazine ban in Los Angeles. Call in now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486. Now, here's Tom.
All right, we have so much to talk about this week. It's going to be hard to get it all into our 3+ hours that we're going to be doing this, but hang in there. We're going to get it in. We're going to cover a lot of ground in a hurry. A lot of things to talk about. Yes, we're going to be talking about silencers. We're also going to be talking about things straight out of the news. We've got news out of California with another magazine ban being passed there. We are going to be talking about things in the news. Well, we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and while I'm going to be covering that extensively next Sunday, we are going to be talking about that a little bit today because you're going to be seeing so many specials and information about it. I want to make sure that you are tuned in and kind of listening to see if the stories contain the information about the vast firearm confiscation program that was incorporated into that. When people were at their most vulnerable, when people most needed to take care of themselves because there essentially was no one else there to take care of them, the authorities went door to door at gunpoint, taking guns away from everybody, saying, nobody here has a gun. One police chief said it was like Mogadishu. Amazing stuff. And they said, well, it couldn't happen here. It already did. And it will again if we let it. Really is as simple as that. We just finished shooting the third season of First Person Defender. We talk a little bit about that, the reactions that people get when you throw them into force-on-force training, and how some of them come unglued, some of them respond fairly well. We could talk about, well, we can get into some detail, going all the way from Colonel Cooper's color code to the OODA loop to other things. And actually, somebody who can talk about all of those things joins us right now. Mike Seeklander, you have seen him on TV as a top trainer, military veteran, special forces, let's see, air marshal, law enforcement, all sorts of other things. Mike Seeklander, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Hey, Tom, how are you today?
Well, I am well. I got a lot of things I'm going to be throwing at you and asking today, but one of the things, the reason I wanted to get you on here right now is because you had a most interesting story that, and you know, we've got our Truth Squad here where people basically say, okay, I'm not going to just put up with it anymore. I'm not going to shrug. I'm just not going to say that's just the way it is. When something happens, they're going to respond. That's what happened in this case. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and you've got this online course, but something really ugly happened, didn't it?
Yeah, Tom, it was actually a thing that just tore me up. I was actually driving along the Oregon coast and got an email from Udemy.com, and Udemy is where I host my online courses. I have two courses, Defensive Handgun Level 1 and Defensive Rifle Level 1, and literally just out of the blue, this lady named Julie from the policy team emails me and said that they looked at the course again, and now understand when you build a course on their site, it takes like 3 or 4 levels of approval to get it to go live. And she said that they're going to cancel my courses because their policy says that it doesn't. That basically, I didn't meet policy. And when I read the policy, I'm like, it has nothing to do with policy because they say inappropriate, offensive, racist, hateful, sexist, pornographic, false, misleading, infringing, defamatory, or libelous content. I'm like, how did defensive handgun, become one of those? So it was a pretty amazing deal. And so after I got home from my honeymoon, I said, I'm not going to stand for this. This is ridiculous. It's as stupid as the anti-firearm signs you find on most businesses around the country. And I sent an email blast to my readers and put it on Facebook and said, hey, please reach out to them, let them know how disappointing this is. And people acted. I mean, I don't know how many emails they got total, but I was copied on probably close to 25 of them. And it was an amazing thing. And lo and behold, about 3 days later, I get another email from Udemy, the same lady, and they had re-reviewed the course and changed their policy based on the action that people took, and said, "Hey, we're going to allow you," because now that my course is educational and the firearms can be used legally, offensively, and defensively. I don't know why they were that way, but basically they're going to re-allow those courses. So it was pretty neat change, and it was all because the people stood with me.
I think gun owners are just tired of being marginalized and not only just made fun of, but actually put into a box with pornographers and criminals. And I said, no, I'm sorry. You can't talk about your sport and you can't talk about the defensive, safe use of firearms because that's the same as pornography or drugs or something. And we go, no, you are not going to do that to us anymore. We are done with that. I am so glad to hear this, Mike. That's a great story.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate being able to talk because your listeners need to hear that. And I think the takeaway for me was, I don't stand for things anyways, but we have to. Of course, we have the NRA and all these different groups that stand. But as an individual right, we need to stand and say, things are stupid. We're not going to put up with this stuff anymore. Like I said, one of my big pet peeves is when I go to a business and I see an anti-firearm sign on the door. I talked to the manager of a business at one point in time that I walked in. I said, "Hey, can I talk to you about your sign on the door?" And said, well, in real honesty, do you think your sign is going to get that lone wolf terrorist or lunatic psychopath with an AK-47 that's about to walk through your front door? You think that sign is going to get them to turn around and leave and say, I've decided I'm not going to kill a bunch of people today because of that sign. It's stupid. We've got to start standing up to people and saying, this is ridiculous. We're not putting up with this.
If each of us individually says, okay, I am not going to just allow that to happen. I am going to speak up every time and not wait for the NRA, the Second Amendment Foundation, or somebody else to carry my water for me because I'm on the scene right now. It's happening right now, and I can speak up about it. Maybe one person doesn't make a difference, but maybe 25 people or 100 people saying the same thing, they start to say, well, wait a minute. You know what those people look like to me? They look like customers. And all those customers walked away. I put it this way, Mike. I talked to the manager. I said, I just want to let you know that I was coming in your place and I got turned away at the door. I couldn't come into your place. And they always said, well, like, who did that? What happened? I said, your sign did that. I wasn't able to go in. I wasn't able. I wanted to come in and spend money with you, and you turned me away at the door. And all of a sudden, it's like you can see the wheels turning.
Sure. Yeah, the funny thing is when people that maybe don't have any background with firearms or choose not to arm themselves, that's fine. If that's their choice, that's fine. Then they're giving up their right to self-defense. But the point is, it shouldn't have an effect on us. And when these people at Udemy got all of these emails, I think they actually stepped back and looked at their policy and took 3 or 4 seconds to think about it and thought, well, and I would love to know where that started because, like I said, to get the courses online, I had to go through multiple approval processes. They had to view the videos. They had to check the boxes, and then they finally approved the courses. So they knew that the course content was there. And, I would love to know who the one person was, the one manager or one person that complains. There's gun-related content on your site. And then
I'll guarantee you this is what happened, Mike. One person contacted them and says, I can't believe that you're having killing videos on your site. One letter, one email, and they went, oh, my God, we've got to do something about this. And then without referencing their policies at all, they just made a unilateral decision. Boom, throw them out. And here's the thing, and here's why they think they can do this. I've seen this for 40 years. They do it with the clear misunderstanding. In their view, they're thinking, well, the media just keeps telling me, there aren't that many gun people. And what is it, like 2-3% of the population has guns? Are just kind of freaks out on the side, and they don't amount to anything, and they won't affect our business.
Right.
And then they get the education.
That's right. Yeah, and they did. And I will tell you, I am absolutely thrilled with the response from the people that follow me on Facebook and read the email I sent. It was absolutely amazing that they responded like they did, and that's really where the thanks goes to. And that's the point is that's how we need to operate. As legal gun owners that want to use them for sport or self-protection. That's the key.
That's it. Tell you what, hold on a second, Mike. I'm going to hold you over here because when I come back, I want to talk to Mike Seeklander. He has trained people in very advanced self-defense techniques. We want to talk about these 3 guys on a train in Europe when a terrorist comes in to kill everybody, and they say, no, not here, not today, not with us here. Talking with Mike Seeklander. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk.
EWL by Slip 2000 is the absolute best gun lube available, period. It will never gum up or become sticky. It won't attract dust, dirt, or sand, and doesn't freeze in cold weather. It penetrates and bonds with a metal reducing friction and wear, which means less cleaning and easier cleaning. Why not try it? Visit our participating dealer for a free sample or go to slip2000.com. That's slip2000.com.
Be sure to watch NRA Freedom Friday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. with Freedom Fighters, American Air Gunner, ATSN Stop the Threat, Gun Talk TV, Championship Season, Guns and Gear TV. Watch NRA's Freedom Friday only on the Pursuit Channel, where we deliver the outdoors.
No matter what gun you have, you want it to hit harder, shoot faster and flatter, and be more accurate. You get all that with the ammunition from Double Tap. Double Tap's experts select the best bullets, then load them to higher velocities while keeping safe pressures. Shoot small groups. Shoot farther. Use custom hunting loads in your handgun or rifle. Even fire 2 projectiles with 1 shot. DoubleTapAmmo.com. That's DoubleTapAmmo.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Gresham. For more than 40 years, I've been watching an environmental disaster in my backyard, and it actually impacts all sportsmen in America. I'm talking about the massive loss of land on the Louisiana coastline. The U.S. Geological Survey said the swamps and marshes of coastal Louisiana are among the nation's most fragile and valuable wetlands. That land is disappearing. The Mississippi River Delta hosts as many as 10 million ducks and geese every winter. These are birds which migrate northward through the states, all the way to Canada. The wetlands of the Delta support some of America's best fresh and saltwater fishing. And here's the deal. The wetlands of the Mississippi River Delta are disappearing at a rate of 1 football field every hour. 1 football field every hour. Gone. We can reconnect the river with its wetlands and restore the Delta, but we need your help. Please visit vanishingparadise.org. That's vanishingparadise.org.
What's the best self-defense gun? It's the one you have with you. The Taurus Curve is the most comfortable gun you can carry, so you will have it with you. It actually curves to fit your body. Ultra comfortable, snag-free. Made in the USA. Built in light and laser. 10.2 ounces of 380 firepower. Double action only. The world's first and only curved firearm. Details at TaurusUSA.com.
3 men on a train in France on vacation. One of them's asleep. Guy comes in with an AK and a whole bag full of mags and a pistol, an edge weapon. He's there to kill as many people as he can. The only problem he had was, well, 2 problems. One, he didn't know how to run his firearm, and number 2, he had 3 Americans on a train who said, no, not today, not here, not while we're here, not on our watch. I'm talking with Mike Seeklander, who has trained a lot of people in the federal and state and local level, a lot of officers, agents, and done active tours in the military. Mike, I was thinking about you. I knew you were coming on, and we have this story. This is all about a mindset, isn't it?
It is, and in a situation like that, I just watched those guys on Fox News this morning. They seized the initiative. They simply made a decision, and that's the difference between guys like that and most people that freeze up. And whether it was their training and background or just like the fact that people are starting to recognize and realize that if we don't fight back, we're going to be in serious trouble.
I remember a story from a flight instructor who was talking to a guy who did a precautionary landing in a field because things were going bad and the weather was going bad. And the flight instructor said, well, when did you actually make the decision to go ahead and put that thing on the ground? He said, 5 years ago. I said, what do you mean? He says, I thought about it 5 years ago, and I knew if this ever happens, this is what I'm going to do. That's what we're talking about, isn't it? You make the decision a long time before it actually happens, so it's already programmed into your mind. So you simply do what you've already pre-visualized. Yeah,
absolutely. And, guys like that, run in their mind, and that's something everybody can do. You don't have to go to the range. You can simply make the decision to act on something. And then, of course, if you have the plan in your head and you've thought it through a few times, you can make a difference. And that's exactly what the guys did, completely unarmed. And thankfully, this jerk that jumped on the train was untrained with his firearm. If not, it would have been a whole lot worse.
One of the things I pointed out to people, I said, look, if you don't know how to run an AK, you might want to go get some training somewhere. It's not a real complex tool, but it's different from your AR. And the chances are anywhere in the world, that's the one you're going to run into if you have to pick up a gun somewhere and run it. Just, worthwhile piece of information for anybody who's gunny.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Some sort of familiarity with most weapon systems out there, especially the ones you're going to run into with these guys and you never know where it's going to be, something like that. It's like they had no idea this was going to happen, and nobody is. It's just one of those deals where, you got to be prepared to do something or, cower down and die. It's one or the other.
I know a lot of your training, you teach people how to shoot and how to move and how to communicate and do all that kind of stuff. But part and parcel to all of that is actually changing what's in someone's head, isn't it?
It is. And if someone has the technical skills to shoot a firearm and manipulate a firearm, that's only part of the equation. They need to have the mental ability to do so and to make the decision to use whatever force. And what we talk about with a lot of our students is that fighter mindset, is developing that fighting mindset that, you're, you can call it however you want, but you're a warrior whether you do that full time or not. And if you don't have the mindset, all the technical skills in the world won't make much of a difference.
We talk about pretty much everybody that we work with knows about Colonel Cooper's color code. A lot of people may or may not know about John Boyd's OODA loop. But what we're really talking about, if you're practicing color code and if you know about the OODA loop, you are talking about reducing your reaction time so that you can recognize, make a decision, and get into action more quickly. And generally, the faster you can get to that action part, the more likely you are to live through it.
Yeah, and that's the whole concept. The act is important because then you cause whoever you're fighting or defending against to start making decisions based on what you're doing versus you making decisions based on what they're doing. And that's really the key. You change that loop. And as soon as you do that, you tend to have the ability to affect them and what they're doing.
Now, your website, I just want people to know, is shooting-performance.com. They can find out a lot more about what you're doing there. Let me ask you this. How important or helpful, I guess maybe that's it, how helpful is it to someone who says, okay, I really do want to be prepared? How helpful would it be to take martial arts training of some sort that doesn't involve shooting, but just get you into that area?
Yeah, it's extremely helpful, and I even in my defensive handgun and rifle courses, especially defensive handgun, one of the biggest lectures I give in the very beginning before I ever teach people how to draw is that if they don't have other skill sets, meaning that some level of fitness and some combatives, martial arts combatives pretty much interchangeable terms, but some ability to do some things other than draw a handgun and use a handgun, they're failing themselves because, those ranges and those situations where a lot of things occur, and they're really, they need to have different solutions to different problems. And, the handgun or the rifle is not always the best solution. They need to be a fighter, is what I tell people. You're a warrior all the way around. So start to train in all the different skill sets that a warrior might need if you truly want to be able to defend yourself and your family. Yeah,
Jim here just points out, so there may not be time to draw. You may be fighting them off with your hands, until you can get to a gun, or maybe that's all you end up doing is fighting with your hands or doing something else. But just martial arts training teaches you the essence of a lot of this is immediate, rapid, violent action, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people that are carry holders and carrying for whatever reason under or overestimate their ability to utilize their firearm in an attack, especially if the distance or range is close, in a crowded area or in a vehicle or whatever else. One of the things we do in one of our advanced classes is we gear up with red guns and suits and stuff like that, all safe training weapons, and we basically do integrated training where punches and kicks and grounded stuff is all allowed. And we tell people, if you get the handgun out, go ahead, go for it, try it. And 9 times out of 10, even myself, and I do quite a bit of drawing, I can't get the handgun into play against a motivated attacker that's punching me in the face. It's very, very difficult to do. So if people don't have that skill set, they're really missing a big part of the equation. It's really important.
Yeah, on our first-person offender series, we put people into force-on-force training. A lot of them either have very little or just a little bit of training. Some of them just concealed carry class is all they have. And you're right. They really do think that they're ready. They think they're trained because they don't know what training is. They don't know what it is they've missed out on. And then you throw them into one of these situations. And some of them are actually kind of kindergarten-ish in terms of how difficult or complex they are. And, man, they lock up. They miss people at 6 feet. They're missing all their shots. They're throwing shots into the ground. And at the end of it, you walk up to them, and they just have this look in their eyes like, oh, my God. There's several things. One is, wow, it happened so fast. I didn't know it could be like that. And it's like this sense of betrayal where they realize that they've actually betrayed themselves. Like, I'm not ready for this. I need more training.
Yeah, most people are not even close to ready. And the unique thing about humans is we learn the very best when we solve problems on our own, and we learn those solutions under stress. So what I've experienced in that same kind of training is 3 or 4 or 5 repetitions, and that's it, of solving the problem correctly, in a simunition type exercise or whatever, will teach someone more than they'll learn in 3 or 4 days of range training.
There you go. Mike Seeklander, thank you for spending time with us. His website is shooting-performance.com. You can find out what he's up to, get some training from him. You got a lot of ways that people can catch up with you. Mike, we will see you a little bit further down the road. Maybe we'll have a chance to do a little work together.
Have a good day, sir.
All right, you take care. All right, open lines, 866-TALK-GUN. We have some people on hold right now. We're going to get you in here, but we have room for you if you'd like to join us, 866-TALK-GUN, or shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. Gun Talk will be right back.
You're listening to Gun Talk, now on more than 200 great radio stations. Now, here's Tom.
All righty. 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. That'll get you in there. Tom@guntalk.com will get you in, of course. On Twitter, I'm at Gun Talk. You can follow me over there. We always have good conversation going, a lot of things going on. Let's see. Oh, by the way, don't forget to go over to guntalk.com/win for a chance to win all. Well, we got all kinds of cool stuff going. I'm looking at, man, have we got some cool things? I'll tell you what, I'll come back to that. I'm just looking at this incredible list. Don't have time to even tell you everything about it right now. But to go to guntalk.com/WIN to enter for a chance to win very cool guns, optics, ammo. No telling what you're going to find over there. We do a lot of stuff. Line 3, Chuck's with us out of Texas. Hello, Chuck. You got a story for us.
Hello, Tom. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago from Alien Gear, I ordered another holster, and I was very happy last Tuesday when the package arrived in the mail. Unfortunately, when I went down to get the package, it had been previously opened, and the only thing that was in it was the invoice. I called Alien Gear, and I was talking to a customer service rep, which lasted probably 1.5 minutes at most. I explained what had happened. The customer service rep probably apologized to me 3 times for not getting my product and assured me that he would expedite a new order. And before I could hang up, I received one email from Alien that says, "Thank you for calling Alien Gear," and another email saying, "Your order has been placed for the duplication." It's great customer service.
And of course, they weren't responsible for somebody opening the package. I mean, they could have said, well, we're going to put in a claim, blah, blah, blah. They didn't do any of that stuff. They just said, not a problem. We're just going to send you another holster.
Absolutely. I asked the post office about this, and it looked like a deer in the headlights. They had no comment.
Yeah, okay. Well, man, another great customer service story from some of our sponsors here. Good companies. It's just a pleasure to work with all of them. Chuck, thanks for passing that along because, usually people want to share the bad stories. Oh, you'll never believe what happened. And then when something good happens, we kind of go, yeah, well, we forget to mention it. So thank you, sir. I appreciate you being willing to share that great story. Let's go line one. Lee's with us out of Anderson County, Kentucky. Hello, Lee. You're on Gun Talk.
Great. Since last week, I've been thinking about the guy who would not support gun rights organizations because he didn't want to be on a list. What if we all say to folks like that, okay, give me the money for an NRA membership. I'll send it along to NRA in my name.
Yeah, except that a lot of them are just cheap bastards. What can I tell you? You know what? They're well, that's it. And we ran into a guy this week who says, I don't want to get a concealed carry permit because, and then finally, I just don't want to spend the money on it. Okay, but you're still going to carry a gun. Right, okay. I don't want to go down that road again. I agree. If somebody says, I just don't want to be on a list, and you say, well, then is that the only reason that you won't support gun rights by sending money to pick a group, NRA, Second Amendment Foundation, somebody? And if they say, yeah, that's the only reason, say, okay, well, good. Give me $25. Just right now, reach in your wallet, give me $25. You go, what? It says, I'll send it in for you. You will be doing good, and you could do it anonymously. Think how good you'll feel. You did something good, and you're not on the list. Oh, my gosh. I love it. It's a great idea, Lee. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Frank's on line 4, calling out of New Jersey. Frank, what happened when you went to this concealed carry class?
Well, I went to a class for the Utah carry permit, and I got a group of 5 people to go with me, my wife and a couple of friends, and we went down, took the class, and there was an officer there. He was doing the fingerprint and helping with the class. At the end of the class, I just turned around and said, I got a question. How come you didn't mention the NRA and, to the members? And a lot of people were in the class were new, and you didn't, suggest they look into it and maybe join to support the NRA. And the officer that was there goes, I don't believe in them. They want people to carry, and I don't support them at all. And I kind of shook my head like, wait a minute, you're making money off of my coming to this class, but yet you don't want to support them? It just didn't sit right with me. And, I thought that was kind of crazy. And I see that a lot of times where gun shops don't recommend the NRA or don't recommend any other organizations to help support the firearms industry. And it's just kind of ludicrous that they do that.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've heard it. I got a question for you, and I'm just going to throw this out and get your response to this. Yep. Do you think that it's one of those psychological things, and we see that all the way from junior high on up, the way to make yourself appear to be better, bigger, smarter, stronger, whatever, is to badmouth someone who is better, bigger, stronger, smarter. So if you badmouth them, try to put them down, that it makes you look better? Is that possibly something of what's going on here?
Yeah, I sort of said that to him towards the end. I said, well, you're saying that the people aren't trained. I said, but most people, I know myself and the rest of my group are going on to classes and stuff because we know this isn't a class. And, we're looking to advance ourselves. And as a matter of fact, I think that most people that are carry people know more about their weapons than the police do. That didn't sit well with them at all, but
I bet not.
I think it had to be said. The other thing I'd like to add into, I went down to North Carolina, was able to carry for the first time, and didn't know how I would feel emotionally or anything like that. And it was just a great experience. Forgot the gun was there, and just had a great time. Looking forward to doing that more often.
Well, that's fabulous. It's a different experience. It's a different feeling when you first start doing it. And we've all had that occasion where we're walking around the first times and we're thinking, okay, I feel like I got a sign over my head that says man with a gun. You don't, and nobody knows it. As long as you don't fidget, as long as you don't put your hands on your gun, as long as you don't keep touching it, keep your cotton-picking hands off the gun, make sure it's deeply concealed, and don't ever let it flash just as a way of, hey, cool, hey, I got a gun. Yeah, that's immature. It's foolish. And many times it's illegal, but it's also unsafe. Just had a story of somebody getting his gun taken away from him. He didn't have it concealed. Then we're going to bring up the whole topic of open carry. Maybe you may want to open that can of worms here. 866-TALK-GUN.
To be truly protected, if you use your firearm in self-defense, you need to carry more than just a gun. You need to carry firearms legal protection. If something happens, you get the very best legal representation. So protect your family. Add your financial security for less than $10 a month. Learn more at firearmslegal.com. That's firearmslegal.com. If you're going to carry, you better carry firearms legal protection.
If you're gonna carry, you better carry firearms legal protection.
The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gun Dealio, the free app for your smartphone. Gun Dealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get Gun Dealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gun Dealio. GunDealio.com.
Alien Gear Holsters, the most comfortable, concealable holsters on the planet, has revolutionized the concealed carry holster market again with the new Cloak Tuck 3.0 IWB holster. This new holster improves on the original design with enhanced retention, a spring steel core, and ballistic nylon padding for added comfort. You've got to try this holster to believe it. Get yours now for as low as $43.88 at aliengearholsters.com.
You spend weekend mornings ringing steel, not at brunch. You prefer cleaning your AR over shopping for antiques. And you know that your high-performance gun has a huge appetite for quality ammo that's affordable. The new Barnes Range AR ammo uses top-quality components to ensure your gun runs smooth. Loaded with light-for-caliber jacketed zinc core bullets to maximize speed. In 5.56 and 300 blackout. Fast, flat, accurate. Barnes Range AR ammo at barnesbullets.com.
Well, here we go again. Another story. We've been seeing this for 25 years now. Story that says, as gun carrying permits reach historic levels in Minnesota, related crimes remain in check. A record 200,000 Minnesotans now have permits to carry handguns, an increasingly diverse group that includes two men who recently made split-second, life-altering decisions to fire their weapons. Opponents had feared that the law would lead to a surge in shootings and gun deaths. But Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension data show that fatalities involving permit holders are rare. In the past 5 years, this is with 200,000 people having permits. In the past 5 years, there have been 5 deadly or non-lethal instances of justifiable use of a firearm by permit holders. From 2013 to 2014, gun crimes reported to the BCA involving permit owners dropped in half. Every time we saw concealed carry passed in the state, as we're listening to people say there'll be blood running in the streets, every fender bender will turn into a shootout. About a year or two later, the media says on the third page of B section, well, it's been 5 years, and so the sheriffs are saying it really hadn't been a problem, and we're just not seeing any problems. Yeah, I know. Amazing. People who will pay hundreds of dollars to get the training, to get the fingerprinting, to get the photograph, to get the background check, and wait their time, and be on a list. It's amazing those people don't go out and just shoot everybody up, isn't it? People who will obey the law and jump through all these hoops to get this done. It's just amazing that they're not crazy people. It's so tiring sometimes. Oh, my gosh. Andy called in on line 2 out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Hello, Andy. You're on Gun Talk.
Hey, Tom. Last time I was at my gun club, another gentleman came by and started trying to shoot his new rifle he just bought. And it was a very nice older Weatherby. And he had a box of 300 Winchester Magnum ammo that the gun store said that rifle was chambered in. And he was having a heck of a time getting it in that chamber. And I told him, even though it's marked 300 Magnum, at the time this gun was made, that was a 300 Weatherby Magnum. And he tried to cram it in there a couple times, but eventually he figured out that I was right and went back to the store to get the correct ammo. So just a precautionary tale there. Know what guns shoot.
It's a good point. You know, Andy, some of the older guns, and especially some of the custom guns, they would stamp on the barrel something that doesn't give you quite as much information as you might like to have. In this case, 300 Magnum, there are at least 5 different 300 Magnums out now. So it could be any of those. But you're right. In the early days, that would have been a 300 Weatherby Magnum. If your gun is stamped with something weird like a 25 Roberts, which I have seen, that's actually a 257 Roberts, but it was before it was made an official factory cartridge. It was a Wildcat cartridge. I'm so glad that you were there, Andy, and you could help him out. Holy cow, could have been bad. Don is on line 3 out of Eagle Point, Oregon. Don, sounds like you got yourself a couple of nice firearms there.
Well, I hope so, sir. I just acquired these, and they're brand new, still in the package, or in the sack, still in the boxes, all the paperwork and everything there. They're 1956 to 2006 community models, and they're Ruger Blackhawks. And like I said, they've never been fired. They still have the little nylon ring in washer in between the firing pin and the cylinder. Yes, sir. And anyhow, I'm wondering what you would recommend. Mount these or go ahead and shoot them, value-wise.
Okay. Well, they're not collector's items, and they're never going to be collector's items. These are not limited editions. They just put that stamping on those for a gazillion guns they made that year. So there's absolutely nothing limited or special about them other than they look cool. If you think they look cool and want to save them and put them away and look at them, that's fine. But just understand the value is not going to go up on these guns, even if they are consecutive serial numbers. Now, somebody may call in and say, "Oh, well, I would pay extra for those." Cool. If they were mine, of course, it doesn't really matter if they're mine because I'm not a collector. I'm trying to think. I do not have a collector gun. I do not own a collector gun. Every single gun I own has been shot and will be shot again if I get the chance to get out to the range. So if it were me, I'd shoot those puppies. If you don't want to shoot them because they're just too pretty, put them away. And then go get you another Ruger Blackhawk that's a shooter. The thing that's great about Blackhawks is you can shoot them from now until the end of time, I think. And they will keep on running. They're built that strong. Those are some strong and accurate and fun revolvers. Appreciate that. 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham, and this is Gun Talk. All right, did you see this story? The NRA is helping Indiana train its National Guard people in the use of concealed carry firearms. So the Indiana National Guard enlists the NRA's help to train the Guard on firearms, on concealed carry, because they don't teach concealed carry in basic or any of that. You would have thought they had said, let's get Satan to help out the church. The way some people responded to that. Amazing. Yes, we want them to have good training, but not if it's the NRA. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Line 1, Casey's with us out of New Mexico. Hey, Casey, you're on. What's up?
Hey, Tom. I'm calling in regards to the gentleman who doesn't want to be on a list, doesn't want to join the NRA. Mm-hmm. And my thoughts are that he's already on more lists than he knows, than any of us know.
Sure.
I mean,
of course.
Google, our phone companies, software of every manner is spying on us. They index the information. They put it in searchable databases and spreadsheets. And then they gift it right to the U.S. government, which you know is doing their own indexing. They know. They know how you vote. They know if you're a gun owner. They already know these things. So my challenge is for everybody to be on the right list. The person who's going to stand up, challenge retailers, challenge misinformation, challenge media, write letters to the editor, write letters to their senators and congressmen, and let the world know. And of course, join the NRA, call GUNTALK, and let the world know that you're not going to be bowled over by government and just groupthink stupidity. I mean, the way
I like it. I like it. What you're saying is, look, you're already on a whole bunch of lists. Make sure you're on the right list for doing the right things.
That's right, Tom. That's it in a nutshell.
Casey, that is beautiful. I love the sentiment. Well done. Jeff's on 4 out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Jeff's got an NRA matter.
Yes, Tom. I wonder if you could talk to the powers that be that to bring back that $300 life membership.
Man, that was sweet, wasn't it?
Possible. It was. I'd like to get in on that one. I didn't have the money back then, but I do now.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll investigate and see if we can maybe resurrect that. For those who don't know what we're talking about, is a couple of years ago, we worked with the NRA and got a special deal going, a $300 life membership, regularly $1,000, but you had to call in and through Gun Talk. And at Gun Talk, we generated about 17,500 memberships, life memberships for the NRA, something on the order of $5 million of revenue for the NRA just through Gun Talk Radio here. Honestly, Jeff, what may happen, it's they may have said, wow, we never thought we were going to get that many. We didn't plan to give out that many life memberships at that price. I'm not sure we can afford to do that. Because, I mean, here's the thing. If they get a life membership now, it's not an asset. It is a liability. So they have to furnish that. They have to service those members for life with magazines, whatever, and all that type of thing. So I don't know. But you know what? I will ask. I will at least do that. I'll see if we can get something going again. It worked very well, and the Gun Talk listeners responded incredibly. We really, really did like that. Jim, don't go anywhere. I'm not going to have time to get you before this break. We'll hold you over. We'll talk about pocket guns. Also, when we come back, we're going to be talking about, unbelievably, a new ban out in California, ban on standard capacity magazines. Oh, here's one as we head to the break. Joe Biden has decided that he would lay claim to the Clinton gun ban of 1994. He now calls it the 1994 Biden crime bill, that ban on the most popular rifles being made in America. Please run, Joe. Would you please, just as a favor to all of us gun owners? Come on, Joe, you can do it.